What's up, YouTube? So I know it's been a while. Um, kind of like I did last year, I kind of took a break during the off season. I'm going to be honest. There wasn't really a lot for me to talk about. I mean, there's a couple minor moves here or there, um, but honestly, I just took it as a break. But I'm back now, and I'm going to go over the depth charts before our first preseason game against the Commanders tonight. I've got both the official depth chart that the Dolphins put out, and I also have one of my own that I'm kind of looking at. To start off, I'll start talking about the one that the Dolphins put out. It's kind of interesting. It's not completely different from what I was kind of already thinking. The only thing that's interesting is Ben Sims um, being listed as fullback slash tight end. That's kind of interesting. Um, that would potentially give him some extra value as well, if he can prove himself in that regard. Um, and also Caleb Douglas. I wasn't expecting him to be as far along as he is. He has had a pretty good camp, but still. The starting offensive line is exactly what I thought it would be. Greg Dulcich, obviously starting tight end. None of the starters, besides Caleb Douglas, really surprised me on offense. Defense, really either. Um, it's a little weird having three linebacker positions. Like I know Sam, Will, and Mike, uh, but I wouldn't really look at Willie Gay as a Sam. I mean, I understand the Trey Moore thing because he kind of plays edge as well. I don't know. I think that's a little weird. Um, but yeah, nothing too different. Um, Now I'm gonna kind of get to mine. So far I have 46 players kind of locked down. I'll kind of explain real quick how I have this laid out. The players that are listed in white, they to me have a space on this team already. The ones in blue are kind of on the bubble, trying to make the team. Cam Miller probably makes it. I just don't know for sure if we run with three quarterbacks on the 53. We probably do. And then red are injured players. So yeah. So yeah, obviously Malik Willis, Quinn Ewers, obviously number 1 and 2. Um, I'm interested to see what Malik Willis does. Obviously, I do have their numbers next to them as well. Um, I'm not. I mean, this is a tanking team. Like it is what it is. This is purely a scouting season. We just need to take a look at what our younger players are able to do, and that's pretty much going to be about it. Devon Achan, I am a little concerned about the amount of carries that they have alleged that he's probably going to be getting. He's a smaller back, but we'll see. Um, Donovan Edwards and Carlos Washington, I think they're probably on the bubble. I imagine one of them makes it. I don't know if we run with 4 running backs on the active roster. Like I said, I think Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon are solid um, as our number 2 and 3. Uh, if I had to guess, I would guess Donovan Edwards would probably make it. I mean, that is why I have him listed at 4. DJ Herman, I don't know for sure if we even keep a straight up fullback. I wouldn't mind seeing if any of our tight ends can line up at fullback at a decent rate, or maybe even Ollie Gordon. But we'll see there. That's what kind of why I have them where they are. Wide receiver, Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell, obviously, as our veteran 3, and then the 3 rookies we drafted. They're going to be safe. So I think we're probably locked in at that 6. Then it just kind of turns into how many receivers do we keep? Usually between 6 to 8. I would like to see Theo Weiss. He played pretty well for us, especially toward the end of the year last year. But this coaching staff and front office has no real loyalty to Theo Weiss. They have no reason to. So there's that. Terrace Marshall, obviously a vet. Jalen Rager, I'm not really that hype on him. Taj Washington, unfortunately, hasn't really stepped up the way I thought he would. You can see here too the people that have like kick and punt return potential. I kind of listed that there. If they're a rookie, I listed where they were drafted and stuff like that too. And undrafted free agent, obviously. I think Donovan McCulley might end up being a practice squad guy. Taj Washington maybe could be too. We'll see. Um, Tight end, I mean, Greg Dulcich is going to be our number one, and then the two rookies. I think that's probably a lock. It just kind of comes down to how many tight ends do we keep. I wouldn't mind keeping Ben Sims if he can also play some fullback for us. I wouldn't hate that idea. Having extra tight ends just for special teams can be really good. Moving on to the offensive line, I didn't list the starting five in any way of like my preference toward them. I literally just said left tackle, left guard, all the way to right tackle. The starters. So there's our starters: Patrick Paul, Caden Proctor, Aaron Brewer, Jonah Savania, Austin Jackson. We'll see with Austin Jackson. Caden Wallace could potentially go and maybe replace him. We'll see. But I think Jamari Sawyer is probably pretty safe. Andrew Mayer is probably pretty safe. Honestly, DJ Campbell, he was a 6th-round pick. We'll see. If I had to guess, we probably run with 9 offensive linemen, and at that point, Caden Wallace would probably be our last guy. And I think everyone below that probably goes. We might get some back in practice squad, maybe like Kevin Klein or something like that. But beyond that, I think that's pretty much what I'm thinking. Edge, I think the top 4 are very obvious. I think Chop Robinson, Josh Uche, they're going to be the starters. David Ajabo, Cleveland Farrell, kind of being the rotational pieces. Beyond that, I think we probably have room for another 1 or 2. We did draft one in the 7th round, but again, 7th round, like we don't have any real loyalty there. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it. Robert Beal, he's kind of a vet. Robert Good's been here a little while, but again, this coaching staff has no reason to be loyal to him. So we'll see there. Moving in interior D line, I think Zach Sealer and Zeke Biggers are going to be our top 3 techs, and then our nose tackles are going to be Kenny Grant and Jordan Phillips. I think those guys are obviously locked down. I think Matthew Butler probably makes it again if I had to guess. And that might be about it. I think everyone else is probably going to be they're going to have to do a lot to prove themselves, to be honest. Moving on to linebacker, Jordan Brooks, Terrell Dotson, Jacob Rodriguez, obviously. Trey Moore, who we also just drafted in the 4th round, can play a little bit of edge for us, which I think that's also going to be a big deal, the fact that he does play edge and linebacker. I think that's going to go into how many edge rushers we end up keeping. Willie Gay played really well for us last year, too. I'd like to keep him. Kyle Lewis, we just drafted him, so he's probably going to be sticking around. Ronnie Harrison and Jackson Woodard, I think they both have a decent chance of making the team just because you do need linebackers for special teams, but we'll see. It just depends on, again, how many we decide to keep. But if you think like Will and Mike, maybe Sam, and then the 3 rookies really filling out the linebacker room. I think that's probably pretty solid, and then we'll see from there. Corner is a little bit weird because, Daryl Baker and Storm Duck are both hurt. Chris Johnson, obviously our 1st-round rookie. He's obviously going to be here. Juju Brents is probably going to start on the other side of him. Jason Marshall will probably be our starting nickel. Then after that, we got Ethan Bonner. Honestly, Alex Austin can also probably hit that. I think, again, this is going to just depend on how many corners we decide to keep. But I do think it's going to be kind of an upward battle after Ethan Bonner. We'll just have to see. Safety, Dante Trader, obviously our starting strong safety. I think Lonnie Johnson Jr. and Michael Tafe, our rookie, are probably going to battle it out for the starting free safety spot. And then I think Zane Anderson's probably pretty safe. We have an undrafted rookie after that. I mean, having a fifth safety just for special teams would probably be pretty good, but we'll see there. I can also get rid of this. I only had him blued out because obviously I don't think we're going to keep Riley Patterson and Zane Gonzalez, but for now, while Zane Gonzalez is hurt, Riley Patterson is just straight up our kicker. So, yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking going into the Commanders game. We'll see after the game where my kind of thoughts change, if anybody goes up, anything like that. In terms of like matchups, I really need to see. I mean, the wide receiver fight is going to be pretty intense. I mean, all these guys are probably battling for one, maybe two spots, probably just one. I don't know if we keep 8 receivers. I think that's probably a little much. I think 7 makes sense. I'm hoping for Theo Weiss. Like I said, he looked really good at the end of last year. I like Taj Washington. Terrace Marshall's a vet. So, I mean, I think that's going to be a dogfight for that last spot. Possibly a 4th running back. I think Donovan Edwards probably has a pretty decent advantage there. Another one is to see what happens at fullback between DJ Herman and Ben Sims. Because I think that'll really help Ben Sims make this team. I like him better than Cole Turner anyway. Jeremiah Franklin, I don't think really makes it. If I had to guess. Offensive line, I do want to see DJ Campbell. I want to see what he can do. I don't want to see Austin Jackson play really at all, just because how injury prone he's been. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like 10 through 15, see if maybe they can kind of surprise us. But right now, the offensive line, I think, is kind of more or less locked down. I mean, I don't think we have to be completely loyal to these two, but I mean, Caden Wallace, actually, I'm going to move him up 1 because we literally just traded for him. I don't see us moving on from him after we just traded for him. So he's probably pretty safe. So it's probably that 9th spot. I think DJ Campbell probably has a pretty big advantage because we did just draft him. But, there isn't really that big of a need to be super loyal to 6 rounders, like I said. Edge rusher, like I said, is going to be a pretty tight race for that 5th, maybe 6th spot. And maybe see if someone can step up over Matthew Butler. I doubt it. Corner's wide open because right now we really have 4 receivers that aren't hurt that I feel decent about. And I use decent about pretty loosely because this cornerback room is terrible. The cornerback situation is wide open, as is the safety situation. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.